Let's do this. Afternoon coffee. Coming at you. It's a beautiful day to hunt for some gold. Where are we hunting? We're going Fort Knox. Welcome. Afternoon coffee. We're here. Sunday, February 23rd. And we're going on a quest for gold. The Goldfinger sequel nobody asked for or expected. There's gold, and it may be missing, too. What? We got to roll the clip. Clippy clip. Roll it.
We're also going to Fort Knox. I'm going to go with Elon. And would anybody like to join us?
What?
Because we want to see if the gold is still there. We want to see. Wouldn't that be terrible? We open up.
Yeah, that would be terrible if they open it up and there's no gold, right? That would be awful. Hopefully that's not the case. That would open up many, many questions. Where is the gold? Why is there no gold? Where did the gold go? Who has the gold? Did we sell it? Did we use it for something? Where is it? This has been a long, this is like a deep internet conspiracy that there's no gold in Fort Knox anymore. Fort Knox is supposed to hold our gold, the U.S. gold reserves. We'll bring up the amount. Let me find that real quick. Socials down below. If you want to follow, like, subscribe, find us anywhere, everywhere. Right down below me, right here, next to the coffee cup. Steamy. Hot. So, Fort Knox. How much gold is supposed to be? How much gold is there? Survey says 147.3 million troy ounces of gold. 300 billion. I've seen 300, 400 billion. Somewhere in that number is the popular number. 147 point. Here's the U.S. Mint. Facts. Bring it up. Scroll. U.S. Mint says, what is this media source? I think you can see it right there. I'll highlight it. 147.3 million ounces. Historic high was 650 in 1941. Wow, that's a lot of gold. Which is, I mean, gold isn't exactly the most useful element. I would think those ones they're trying to get out of Ukraine might be a little more useful to us right now. What? So many questions about this. Is it going to be televised? I would hope so, right? The quest for gold, like in a Geraldo Rivera opening the tomb or Al Capone's vault style. I want to have news cameras, live streams, broadcast globally. President Trump and Elon Musk cracking open the vault, seeing if the gold's in there. And what if it's not? It's more fun to speculate what if it's not. So we'll do that wildly. What if it's not? What if it's just empty? What if Odd Job from Goldfinger is in there with his hat and he throws it at President Trump and Elon? Yeah, what if he is? That'd be funny. If it was like a joke, if he didn't actually with the hat. You got to watch the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, if you're like a young person and you have no idea what I'm talking about at this point, go watch Goldfinger, not Austin Powers Gold Member, Goldfinger. 007, James Bond, Sean Connery. Different era. Just say, I'm just saying before you watch it, different era. Don't blame me. I didn't make the movie. It's a great film, and it centers around. I haven't seen it in a long time. It centers around the gold in Fort Knox. The main baddie is Goldfinger. That's where they get Gold Member from in the Austin Powers films, if you're more familiar with those. And there's some. Eventually, James Bond ends up at Fort Knox, and there's some famous scenes. If you're a movie connoisseur, yeah. So go watch it. It's great. And they go into the vault at Fort Knox. I don't think they actually go into the real vault, but they go into a vault that's supposed to symbolize Fort Knox, and there is gold in there. Now, if we do this, follow the yellow brick road caper. I want to say I first saw like the whispers, the gold isn't there, like a long time ago, years ago, like a decade at least. So the gold maybe has been gone for a long time. Um, I think each side blames the other side. I've seen right wing leading articles blame the Clintons, Barack Obama, President Obama, President Clinton. I've seen left wing leaning articles blame President George Lesser Bush and, or I'm sorry, President Dick Cheney and President Donald Trump too, that they stole the gold. I don't know. We will see. I would love to see this. I would, if I could get a press pass for it, I would try and go down and live stream the opening of the vault because I'm skeptical that there's $400 billion in there. If what has been going on, like some people claim, and kind of like how Elon and President Trump are claiming that there's just this rampant, unchecked, unfiltered, unabated corruption, then I'm guessing someone took the gold and pawned it off at a certain point. I would think if no one's been keeping track for a long time, probably since when Kennedy got killed, then the gold's gone. I would think. Right? Maybe. So, yeah, please go check on the gold in Fort Knox. Bring your buddy Elon, President Trump. I think it'd be hilarious. Even if the gold is there, I think it'd just be funny. Like we'll get some good clips and visuals from it, and that's mainly why I want it to happen. We're gonna get some memes out of the quest for the gold in Fort Knox. Maybe it's there, maybe it's not. I mean, wouldn't it be funny if like something else is in there crazy, like the Ark of the Covenant or something? Some like UFO. There's just a UFO in the Fort Knox vault. Some aliens chilling, playing poker. 4 aliens. Well, they've had us locked up here for a while. Please help. They speak English. I don't know why they would speak English. Well, maybe if they've been locked up in the Fort Knox gold vault for a while, they might speak English. They might pick it up from the guards. I need more coffee. I was up late prepping this show, looking into the Fort Knox gold. Where did it go? Who did we give it to? Did we use it to plate some stuff in gold, potentially? That's the most useful thing for gold, as far as sciencey technology stuff is concerned. You can spread it very thin, is what I'm talking about. Very, very thin compared to other metals. So you can use it for gold plating, and it's a good like conduit conductor, kind of like copper. So that's why they put in like cell phones, things like that. We need it for electronics. Yeah, there's also tons of speculation that we irrationally like gold. Rogan loves talking about that and like the Anunnaki. I'm not going to get into that today. This is about Fort Knox and the Goldfinger sequel. I made Biden odd job. I hope you'd like that. In the title or the card below. Okay. So yeah, if you what are your thoughts? Is the Fort Knox gold there? Is it not there? Where did it go? Who took it? When did it go? Are we gonna find it? Is it a big deal? Yeah, I think 400 billion. That's like almost half a trillion. Even if it's 300, it's like a third of a trillion. That's a lot of money. I mean, if they find it, maybe we'll be getting those checks, Doge Timmy checks, 5,000. Remember, might be coming this way. I hope so. We all want those $5,000 checks. Bad. If you are a fan of, yeah, we're definitely gonna lean a little right today. If you're a fan of Joy Reid, shout out Joy Reid. Not really. MSNBC host has said a lot of crazy racist things over the years, past couple years. I'm not gonna play any of those clips. I don't want to give her. I don't know. I think she just says what isn't on the script. Probably that's what most of these people do at MSNBC, and that's why they're not gonna. It's hilarious that they are 100% they're just doing the Russia thing again. It's really funny to watch them try to do it again. Like there's so many things you could try to investigate and actually probably pin this administration and get people upset about it. And they're mostly doing like Russiagate and Elon Musk. They're like, well, he's Trump's a Russian agent, and Elon, he might actually be the president. Like Trump's not really doing anything. Elon's doing it all. I think they could come up with better stuff than that. There's got to be something, right? I mean, what about all these raids, immigration raids? I thought they would be nailing Trump for those. Just because it would probably not look good, like women and children being dragged out in handcuffs. I'm sure there's some of that going on. They could report on that. But no. Instead, they choose Russiagate and other bullshit. So here's Joy Reid. Her show. Joy Reid canceled. Bye. See ya. She joins the ranks of other fallen MSNBC characters and hosts. I'm sure she'll team up with, Cuomo and Don Lemon and those folks, and she'll do some YouTube show, podcast type thing, and it'll be terrible. No one will watch it. Here's a classic clip from election night 2024 from Joy Reid. Her thoughts on the Kamala Harris campaign. Window up. Boop. Boop. Boop.
An historic, flawlessly run campaign. She had Queen Latifah never endorses anyone. She came out and endorsed. She had every prominent celebrity voice. She had the Taylor Swift, she had the Swifties. She had the Beehive. Like, you could not have run a better campaign in that short period of time. And I think that's still true. I mean, this really was an historic, flawlessly run campaign.
She could not have run a better campaign. So let's just break it down. Because she got Taylor Swift and Beyonce, and they're so out of touch, they don't even realize that Beyonce is trending downward because of her association with Jay-Z. That's how out of touch these people are. Who else did she mention? Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Queen Latifah. Nobody gives a fuck about Queen Latifah. I'm sorry, right? I mean, she hasn't been relevant in like 10 years, 20 years, right? I don't know. Name something that she was in without going to Google. I'll wait. I'm like a movie TV guy too, and I'm struggling. Paul Blart Mall Cop? Does that sound right? That can't be right. I'm looking it up. Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah. I don't even know what she's like known for. Like, I know of her, and she's a good actress for sure. I've seen her in things before. I don't think Paul Blart Mall Cop. I think I was wrong on that. I don't recognize any of these. Oh, voice work in the Ice Age series. That's how I know her. And she is good in that series. With the sloth thing. She doesn't play the sloth. That's it's like Ray Romano or someone. No, Ray Romano plays the mammoth. I just want to find one thing that I'm like, oh, okay, I remember her for that, and then we'll move on. Because it's shocking that they're like Queen Latifah. They got Queen Latifah. Taxi with Jimmy Fallon. There you go. Taxi with Jimmy Fallon. Definitely remember that. That is a good movie. Yep, 2004. So there you go. Okay, so it didn't take that long. But yeah, Joy Reid's like, yeah, that should have won us it. That should have won us the election. Queen Latifah endorsing Kamala. I thought it was going to be the Taylor Swift thing, personally. That's the one I had completely wrong. I thought that was actually going to move the needle. But then I realized that I think most Taylor Swift fans are underage and can't vote. Right? So I was like, oh, okay. That makes sense. Makes sense why it didn't move the needle. So, yeah, Joy Reid, done. Bye-bye. They'll just get someone else to go up there and parrot talking points. It's easy. She probably made a lot of money. Let's what's her net worth? Joy Reid. Net worth. I'm gonna say 10 million. 7 million as of 2024, according to no, let's not go with that. Let's go celebritynetworth.com. $4 million. Her salary is 1.5. I mean, I'm not going to tell MSNBC how to spend their money, but that's the craziest one is Maddow. She gets paid just an insane amount, like per episode. Oh my God, I typed in Richard. That's a Freudian slip. My bad. 45 million. That's a lot of clams. 50 million. Celebrity net worth. 50 million. Zoom in a little bit. There you go. Look at that. That's so much money. She could probably open up some like clinics and like homeless shelters and things like that with all that money if she wanted to. I wonder if she's involved in any charities. I would imagine she's probably given those to she's probably given money to questionable sources. Let's take a look. What is Rachel Maddow? We do it live on the show here. We don't do any show prep. We just look it up. Rachel Maddow charities. Does she not donate at all? Philanthropy. Let's do Phil. Oh, geez, I'm falling over. Philanthropy. Oh, she's a Rhodes Scholar. Oh boy. Kurt Metzger has some thoughts on that. He was on Rogan a month or two ago talking about how Rhodes Scholars are like a secret cult. I don't know where he got that information. I know there's definitely a connection between being a Rhodes Scholar and like getting upward mobility. Like if you're a Rhodes Scholar, you have a lot of upward mobility in the upper class, the high class. So I think that's what he was referencing on Rogan when he said that. There's a Daily Mail article, but there's and it talks about like a lawsuit, but there's nothing about Like, does she donate to charity? Does Rachel Maddow donate to charity? I'm trying here, okay? I'm trying to do both sides, and it's really saying no. I mean, I'm not using Google, so that might be why. I got nothing though. Let's do a Google search just to see it. Rachel Maddow. Yeah, charity work. It's like it's the same results. Here's the top one from KTSM 9 News, El Paso. El Paso Strong. Stop that. She donated $5,000 to Walmart shooting victims. This was 6 years ago. That's all I could find as far as charitable donations. She's got a net worth of $50 million. So that's like 1%. It's like nothing. Nothing. It's couch change money. Basically. Couch change. I tried. What can I say? I looked for a while to see if I could find anything. I couldn't find anything. Whoops. Maybe donate some of that money and people won't like universally dislike you. Universally. I don't even think people on the left like her anymore. Right? If you're on the left and you like Rachel Maddow, let me know in the comments. Like, I'm sure her ratings aren't very good. But we're talking, it's Joy Reid who's out. Adios, Joy Reid. Do some claps for that. Have fun. She'll get cycled. She'll be a DNC rep chair soon. They all just cycle in and out. They're MSNBC commentators. Next thing you know, they're lobbyists for Big Pharma. That's what it is. It's all good. They're White House press secretaries, and they're on MSNBC. Jen Psaki. It's just, that's how it is. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. It's a big club, and you are not in it. George Carlin. I spilled coffee. Sorry. I got a rag. Yeah. Joy Reid, out. President Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and the lost city of gold. Fort Knox. Fort Knox has always been, isn't that where the like Las Vegas Tesla truck bomber and the New Orleans guy, weren't they Fort Knox connected? I'm pretty sure. Let me look that up. Fort Knox, Vegas, Tesla bomber. If he's from there, then the other guy definitely was, because I think that's where they like crossed. Well, I don't know if they crossed over, but they both were at the same base. Well, it's a big base. Fort Knox is huge, so it's not necessary. They're Fort Bragg. Okay, Fort Bragg. Yeah, that's where they had both spent time. I thought Livelsburger was also Fort Knox, though. I could be wrong. It was Fort Bragg, not Fort Knox. So I was wrong. Oh boy. Okay, so moving on. Other news. Some cracks in the MAGA armor. Notice I didn't say that word that got Shane Gillis in trouble there. Cracks in the armor. Here we go. Federal employees told to, this is CNN, federal employees told to justify jobs in email, or Musk says they face dismissal. Essentially, this is, you need to tell us why you should stay employed. And if not, then sayonara, baby, you're out. You're getting fired. He did a very similar exercise with Twitter. And that does say it in the CNN article. It's not a terrible CNN article for CNN. So check it out. I'm not going to go into it. Excuse me. Yeah, so Elon's basically emailed every federal employee and asked them to justify their job. Dance for your supper. I mean, people are up in arms about this, but I was kind of doing a thought exercise before I came on about this. If you're like a janitor, you shouldn't have difficulty proving like your job's importance, right? Like you shouldn't have any difficulty. Hi, my name is Bill. I'm a janitor for the Pentagon, and I keep the Pentagon clean. I vacuum, empty trash, wax floors, general maintenance. I can do toilets, a little HVAC here and there, fix up. Those wobbly desks, right? Like the one leg isn't quite center to the floor and it's just wobbly whenever you interact with it. You move something, place something, it's just shaking. I can fix that. I would think that skill alone would get you good to go. Right? Those desks suck. Now, if your main job is to like launder money to the cartels and you're in the CIA, well, you might be in trouble. I don't know what to tell you. Depends if the new administration wants to keep doing that or not. I think so. I don't know. The fact that people are like up in arms about this is, I don't know. I would hope that they want to do this soon. The federal government is huge. They were talking about, I think the number is 2.4 million employees got this email. That's huge. That's going to take forever to go through. And actually, if you're actually going to go through it and go over the information and really try to weigh out whether or not these people should be employed or should keep being employed, then it's going to take a while to go through those emails. That's a lot of information to read. You could feed it into an AI, sure, but and I could do an hour on AIs not actually being AIs. They're LLMs. There's what are large language models. They're not AIs. So you could feed it into the LLMs and you could organize it. You look for different keywords. People who just blew it off and just said, eat shit, right? Weed those out. But regardless, it's going to take a long time to go through all that data. Because then even if the AI makes it look pretty, you still have to read it. Like, I don't think these LLMs are quantum computers yet where they could just literally analyze, like you give it parameters, they can analyze the data and tell you who to keep, who not to keep, and you can trust that information. I don't think they're at that level quite yet. How is this? Because I said at the start, cracks in the MAGA armor. How is this the crack? DT. How is this the crack? Well, I'll show you. I got Kash Patel's email. Why am I over there now? Oh, there we go. Kash Patel's email. This is from Ken Delanian, NBC. Power struggle begins. Here's the email that Kash Patel had. Basically telling them to ignore Elon and Elon's directive. I said yesterday on the show, I've said a couple times already, I like Kash Patel. I think he's nuts. But I think we also need someone who's a little nuts as the FBI director, because he's not gonna stop until he uncovers the corruption, the fraud that we all kind of know exists within the FBI. And I always say there's a great Tucker Carlson interview with Kash Patel. Go watch that. He says exactly what he's going to do when he becomes FBI director, what his interests are. He's he's a deep state conspiracist. A lot of evidence for that. and I've always said I don't think it's an organized UK state conspiracy, but I think there are people who have been in government for a long time who think very similarly and who kind of ignore the different changing administrations. Their thought process is, well, I'm here, I've always been here, I am stability. So it's what I think and what I do that's more important than what any one president does. So, food for thought. Kash Patel button heads with Elon. There are some other tweets and instances, interview sound bites where they seem to not see eye to eye necessarily. I didn't really. I'm not gonna dive too deep into those because this was like just kind of coming out last night / this morning that this email came out. So everything's still kind of like what's true, what's not, as things are in the internet when it's breaking news. So the email is legit though. It's being covered by everyone. So important, definitely the first sign of trouble potentially. And, if you remember, things were going smoothly for about a month or two, Trump term 1. And there was also a lot of friction within the ranks because, he said it himself in the Rogan interview. He brought in a bunch of, neocons, swamp people, and on other people's advice, he says. And, those, Bolton, Pompeo, those cretins. So this time he doesn't have those people, but he did not. He went for a all-star team, like a superstar team, right? Like the flashiest, buzziest groups of people that he could bring in. That's why he brought in like Tulsi Gabbard and RFK and Kash Patel. Elon, right? But to kind of look into take this like as a sports analogy, when teams try to do that, it's not a guarantor of success if you just go out and get the best players. Does it work out sometimes? Yes. It doesn't work out all the time though, because there's so many other variables. One of the biggest variables, especially in sports that people don't realize, chemistry. What's going on in the locker room? Is the quarterback banging the running back's wife? You don't know that, but that could be happening. That could be why there's miscommunication and a fumble, potentially. There's just so much that we don't know behind the scenes, and I would imagine chemistry could be an issue in the Trump administration because they brought all these people together under one roof, which is good, and it's great, and it needs to happen. It's not just a completely the cabinet has some diversity in it, which is important. I'm not saying I'm not a DEI guy at all whatsoever. But you still should have you should still strive for the best people. Put the best people in the best spots. That's the type of guy I am. And hopefully you have some diversity. That would be ideal. And yeah. So we'll see. Signs of the first crack, first schism, we will definitely see going on. I'm going to take, we're 40 minutes in. Things are flying by today. I'm going to take a quick little break. When I come back, I gotta get some water. When I come back, we're going to be doing, talk a little German elections, a little Ukraine update. And then we'll talk a little Epstein list too. I just got to update because I put a video out, short out on that is catching some heat. So I wanted to just kind of talk about that real quick. And then, we'll just kind of do maybe a preview for the rest of the week. Cover any late breaking news. I'm going to throw up we'll be right back. This is Afternoon Coffee. DT on Twitch. If you watch on YouTube or Rumble later, thank you. I'll be right back, but you won't see it because I'll cut it out. Turn that down. Come back. Welcome, Afternoon Coffee. Thanks for sticking around if you stuck around. Second half of the show here, I don't think we'll have a whole lot to cover, to be honest with you. Germany going to the polls today. Lots of concerns that they're going to be electing the right wing. I mean, they should be able to elect whoever they want, right? Yeah, here we go. Flying the flag of Germany. So the AfD is the far right party that everyone's afraid of coming to power in Germany. It's a big deal. Really, ever since COVID, just globally, you can look and see that the right-leaning parties started to gain a lot of ground all over the world, and many of them are coming into power. I mean, that caused issues, I think, in France, Canada, a couple different countries. You know, the right wing got a larger share. In France, they straight up just didn't want to form a government, if I remember correctly. But that might have also been the left wing party. That was a while ago, a couple months ago. So lots of fear that the AfD, the right wing party, is going to be elected as the ruling party of Germany. Talks of Nazism. There's been a lot of censorship going on in Germany too. Some similar things to what's been going on in Britain, just arresting people for social media discussions. That's really increased in Britain quite a bit. And I think they've even gotten to the point where I don't want that one. I want this one. There we go. And they even got to the point where I believe Great Britain is arresting more people. Britain censorship arrests. I think they're arresting more people than Russia. Censorship arrests more than Russia. I'll try to bring up the article. Oh, this was from 2017. In 2017, 411 criminal cases were brought against internet users in Russia for social media posts, while in that same year, the UK made 3,400 arrests. Oh, this is debunking it. So that might not be accurate. Scratch that. That's fake news, CNN fake news. Regardless, though, big deal, the German elections. So we'll keep an eye on that. Probably give you an update on Afternoon Coffee tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern. We're going to do 1 o'clock Eastern Thursday through Monday. Off Tuesday, Wednesdays. And then on Thursdays and Sundays today, we'll do some gaming live streams at like 3 o'clock after the show. And so we'll be doing Transport Fever 2 coming up later. I'm looking into doing like some SimCity 3000 stuff. And then Train Sim World 5 action is going to be on Thursdays, 3 o'clock. So definitely come check that out if you'd like. Ukraine war news. The big update. Zelensky got called a dictator the other day. Now he is saying that he is willing to give up the presidency. You can see that there. If it means peace and NATO membership. You ain't getting NATO membership, bud. And got news for you. There's no way Putin is going to go for that. He doesn't want NATO troops on the border. He definitely doesn't want them in Ukraine. So I don't think they get that deal done if that's a stipulation that they get admitted to NATO. They don't get the deal done. So we'll see. Back to the drawing board. We'll see if the U.S. administration keeps trying to just kind of negotiate without Ukraine being involved, which is hilarious that they're doing that. They should try to at least invite them to the talks. They might not get to say anything, but at least invite them, right? I think that's just common courtesy. So we will see what's going to happen with the Ukraine ceasefire peace that they're trying to do. And don't forget that it was us who started all this, that we kind of started a coup. Victoria Nuland, Senator McCain, Jeffrey Pratt, or Piat, they were the ones who kind of fomented some of this Maidan coup action. And we were dropping leaflets, and this is all old news. It's been buried, and it's hard to find good sources on some of this stuff. It did happen, but it's just kind of been like memory hold at this point because it's 11 years, especially in the US. I don't know. Maybe if we get like a ceasefire thing deal, maybe we'll do a deep dive one day on Ukraine. I just think it's a little spicy with the war going on right now. I don't want to like trend into the misinformation category. This is a satirical news show. We make jokes after all. This is not, it's not a news show. Satirical comedy podcast, not a news show. We're not a news organization. We just make jokes and funnies, ha-has, and try to make you think. Just try to give you both sides of the story. Like how, Senator McCain and Victoria Nuland started the Maidan coup. There's a lot of evidence for that. Moving on, look to the week ahead. I'm sure there's just going to be more President Trump chaosness as the weather starts warming up. Look for an increase in protests in a neighborhood you're in a large city near you. Warmer weather, just, people are going to be out more, and that's typically when we see larger protests. They're going to be big this summer. The more that happens, the more angry people are going to get, the more people are going to get whipped up. And so the protests are going to be big against this administration this summer. They're already fairly, they're good size for February right now, I would say, just as someone who's watched the protests over the past, few years in this country kind of ebb and flow. They're in a good size. Plus, you have people calling for the Summer of Love 2.0, George Floyd Summer 2.0 on Twitter and things, on Reddit, things like that. And when you have that rhetoric already out there, it's just going to increase as we get closer and closer to summertime and warmer weather. So keep that in mind. Indycar. I'm a big Indycar fan. They're coming up next weekend. I'm just going to give them a quick shout out here. How much time we got? 6 days. Some other time. There you go. Oops. Get rid of that. There you go. Grand Prix of St. Pete. It's going to be fun. They have a new contract on Fox. I'm not that excited about that, to be honest with you, because we lost the streaming portion. They used to have a pretty good deal with NBC. You could stream their practice qualifying races on Peacock. The cock. But the cock deal is no more. No more cock tease. Cock deal. And they're on Fox, and Fox had a deal with this Venue Sports streaming service that was going to come to light, but that has been canned. That is no more. Court struck that down for being, I think, a monopoly, which is crazy. You never see a U.S. judge call something a monopoly anymore. Rarely happens. So I'll be watching on my antenna TV, at least on Sunday. I mostly bring that up because that's going to affect Sunday broadcasts moving forward. Transport Fever 2 might get kicked to Saturdays or Mondays in the future because it's going to be 3 p.m. and that's typically when they go racing. And just, check it out. You'll enjoy it. It's a lot better than NASCAR and Formula One. Just saying. Formula One's boring. Lame. It's a bunch of rich dudes driving around yelling at each other. Drivers aren't even allowed to curse anymore. It's crazy. It's absolutely wild. Let's go Twitter. One last X, sorry. I'll never get that right. We'll just do one last whip around. It's American airline flight diverted to Rome amid a bomb threat. It was escorted by fighter jets. That's crazy. We'll bring up the X video. Look at that. This could be fucking AI or some shit. It could not even be the jet. That's how wild the internet is. But I mean, it looks convincing. It's pretty widely reported. News story. Yeah, American Airlines flight AA292. AA292. So it did land in Rome. So everyone's okay. It's all good. All good. Looks like they caught the Bybit guy. Elon Musk is shilling AFD. That one's funny. What else we got? I don't think we got yeah. Pretty much same old for Sunday. Rockstar's GTA 6 will be a platform, not a game. It's going to be a metaverse? I doubt it. Metaverse is done. Anything else blowing up? Let's take a look at some legit news sources. Pope's going down. Got news for you. We're going to have a new Pope soon. Makes sense with Trump coming in. This says it's mild, but he's going to be done soon. CNN. Makes sense with President Trump coming in now. This Pope is a lot more left-leaning of a Pope. So, yeah, if we're going to change the narrative and go more in a right-leaning direction, he's got to go. Got to go. And it kind of seems like what the powers that be are trying to do is, buddy up to the right and Trump. You look at the companies canceling DEI and, Zuckerberg going for censorship. It's all just trying to cozy up to the people who have the mandate. That's all it is. So there you go. Pope going down. I think that's about it for today. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. This has been Afternoon Coffee with DT, February 23rd. Trump and Elon going to Fort Knox. They're going to find some gold or maybe nothing. Could be nothing. Be careful what you wish for, 'cause it could be nothing but empty promises and empty dreams. Yeah, I think that's the big question. If there is nothing, where did it go? Who stole the gold in Fort Knox? And with that sobering, comforting thought, I am out.